only have 30 seconds.
Hey guys, welcome to the 1UP Weekly Live.
Ooh, you got the wiggles in there. I saw you did the wiggles. I did the wiggles.
We did the wiggles. What's going on, Ralph? How's it going?
What's up, dude? What's going on?
Pretty good. I think tonight's a pretty fun subject, you know. What are we doing? It's like, is Arcade1up done with YouTubers? Oh no, what is going on? But
oh no.
I think there's actually a lot of things to talk about here. Ralph, we had a conversation earlier today, which basically kind of spawned this idea that we wanted to be talk about like an interesting change that's happening this year.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it's been rather quiet since that last show we had, right? I mean, it's been quiet in the whole, as far as like an outbound message from Arcade1up.
Right. I think it's more than that. It's like I haven't really seen it's beyond YouTube, right? I think their entire strategy for communicating with customers has entirely changed.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's a reason behind it. I think it's very possible that what we're going to discuss tonight will be the reason. Some of this is speculation, but a lot of this is based on our experience with working with them months prior and kind of the things that we understand about the company. Other people agree. This isn't like information that we've held to secret or anything like that.
Yeah, I think so. It's just been like, we're not, for almost what? How many months has it been? Is it 3? Is it almost 3? Yeah, it's either 3 or more. We kind of felt like, you know, I'm not saying like we were better than anyone else or anything, but I felt like we were pretty plugged in as far as like getting really good data as far as what was going on so that we could distribute that, you know, and sometimes we were, you know, early on to distribute that information and sometimes we were late, but whatever, we felt informed. And then I feel like now the information flows in different ways. It flows through speculative videos and all sorts of things. So it's very different than what it was like before, I think, where we kind of felt confident about the information we were putting out into the world, right?
Right. And so, actually, I've even had some comments recently on my videos that said, you know, I'm making a video about leaks, and they're like, what are you doing, Justin? You've known about all of this since December. Why are you making leak videos? I'm like, no, I don't know.
Yeah. So
when we were working with Arcade1up, especially right now, the countercades, like the detail of like, oh, we're gonna do a Pac-Man and a Galaga countercade. It's gonna have 4 games, and these are the. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that information.
Yeah,
and it's not surprising that it just showed up.
Yeah, but before we were also like involved, we were getting like kind of some cool behind the curtain kind of stuff, which that's all stopped, you know. So the behind the curtain stuff was kind of interesting because I'd say we were getting glimpses into stuff that might have even been like earlier prototype type things, and that's all gone too. So that's all kind of dried up as well.
Yeah, to be kind of just like, I don't know what the right word is. Maybe frank. We've talked about this before. Like in the English language, oftentimes we'll avoid using the word like honestly because it comes across as like,
it comes across as you're not honest. Yeah, like you're not honest all the time. Only now. We're honest now, but we're not honest. Yeah, I know.
Right. So what's the word we're talking about? Let me be frank. Let me be cordial, or whatever the word is. So here's the point. Like when we would do episodes with John before the show started, we're like, hey, John, what are you going to talk about? And we knew like Mortal Kombat was coming out because he did not yet put the curtain up over it.
Yeah.
But he was like, don't talk about it. And we're like, yeah, we respect that. Like, we won't talk about it. So there was aspects of those episodes where John D's like, I'm going to pull it down, remember? And Cyrus is like stopping him. Like, all that was real. Like, I actually thought like John D was about to pull the curtains and get in trouble, right? And we were like, no, don't do it, because we knew like he'd get in trouble because the deal hadn't been done yet. And so even like he didn't even tell us like we're coming out with Simpsons. It was things like, tonight we're gonna tease Simpsons. And so even on the show he was teasing Simpsons, and we didn't really know if really Simpsons is real, because he said he was gonna tease it, but that doesn't mean he's gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, let's move forward with
We're
this
getting
conversation.
some mounting super chats here, so let's just want to get to them really quick.
Sounds good.
All right. Excuse me. All right. Zohar says, there's a lot of reallys here. I really think the reason John D has been so sound is because he's working on Capcom licenses for Unico 50 and 1. I felt it in my bones so bad. You had some comments on we were just talking on the phone a minute ago. You have probably something to add to that, right?
Yeah, I think he's right. I don't think he's working with Arcade. I don't think that John D is employed with Unico.
Yeah, right. I don't think so either.
Like, he didn't like quit his job and go work with Unico. If you think about it, the best position, I mean, if he did, maybe there was a falling out or something. I don't know the specifics, but based on the information that we had at the time when the information was flowing, and it was even on our live show, he said, why don't we sublicense to them? He was explaining this entire thing about how Arcade1up has the ability to share the licenses he has, especially if the other content creator or the other manufacturer is going to build a different form factor. Right? Like it serves a different purpose. It serves a different audience. They would be dumb to just put their nose up and say like, no, we're not going to work with you on that. And so I don't know the exact logistics of they actually have an exclusive right with Capcom, or maybe it's just they can help, work that detail out, and maybe there's some profit sharing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the reason why the communication has stopped, because he's busy doing that. I think he is there probably is some cross, what's the word I'm looking for? Cross collaboration going on, but I don't think it has anything to do with why he's been absent. I think there's other reasons why.
It's kind of funny. We talked about it earlier, and it could be like, remember there was a situation where we're like, okay, they have this new CMO, right? He's a chief marketing officer from Arcade1up, and he coincidentally, or interestingly enough, joined the company right around the same time the information started coming in. So one could easily conclude that when that day took place, this new person who has
which was, by the way, around the time, like when he came in, if you look at the timelines, that's about when our last show was.
Yeah.
It's about when our last show with John D was.
I'm sure he took audit or whatever you want to call it. Like, let's figure out what are you guys doing for marketing? What you guys got this going on? Okay, cool. Oh, John, so you on the show 1UP Weekly. Okay, cool. So what does that do for us? And John's like, it's a great opportunity for us to interact with our super fans. Like, okay, cool. So what does it come down to numbers? How many super fans? Does that represent like 40% of our audience? No. Like maybe 5%? 5%.
Do you want me to play the CMO and you can play John D really quick?
I guess. Go for it.
I don't know. What would the CMO sound like? I can only think he'd have like...
Be like he has a notepad, and he's like...
All right, hold on. I'll make him British just because British people sound smart.
Okay, there you go.
So, John, as the new CMO for Arcade1up, I see we do organic social activities. We do things on Twitter and Facebook. But I see this thing that you do here, John. This 1UP Weekly shit. Are you okay, John? You okay?
Sorry, what's
something
that?
wrong there?
Yeah, sorry. What was that?
All right, let's get it together. It says you do this show, the 1UP Weekly. What's that all about? Like, what kind of return on investment do we get there?
Yeah, I mean, look. We're friends with some of the YouTubers, and if it wasn't for them, like, they've really helped out. They've really helped out to like kind of form this community, and they've been a part of it since the beginning. I mean, Scott has always said that, like, hey, some of the growth is because of some of these YouTubers. Like,
all right, John, you told me right here. My accent's awesome. You tell me right here that we sold approximately around 1.5 million cabinets. So how many people watch this 1UP Weekly show, would you say?
Oh, live, maybe like 230 people.
Okay, so 230 people out of 1.5 million. Now, Over like a course of a week, how many people watch, you think, these shows?
Oh, like sometimes like a couple thousand. We've done some big episodes where like maybe we got like 8,000 people, but like, they watch like, 20 minutes of the show, maybe 30.
Okay, John, do you know what 10% of, or do you know what 1% of 1 million is there, John?
No, I it may look like I'm good at math, but I'm not.
It's 10,000. So you're telling me that you're telling me these shows are not even representative of 1% of our total sales?
Yeah, but look, they're super fans, so we have to listen to what the super fans want, and then we give them what they want, and they'll tell everyone else that this is what you need, and that's viral marketing. Like, dude, I've been doing viral marketing for a really long time. How long have you been doing marketing?
Hello, I've been Don't you even dare do that, my friend. I've been a CMO of big top companies, but I don't have the thing up right now, so I can't tell you exactly.
I'm sorry. Sony, Capcom. Yeah, what's your credentials again?
Yeah, a bunch of these companies. I don't have it pulled up, and I'm really bad at the British accent. Anyways, the long story short is that could have been a legitimate conversation where I know in my prior role, in part of my role now at my job, I work directly with our CMO a lot. And anybody in marketing and that side of the house wants to see how your activities equate to leads. So depending on what a lead could be a sale at Walmart, right? Like, hey, because of this marketing activity, Walmart's buying 20,000 of these Golden Axe cabinets or whatever it is. So that the CMO can say, wow, these are high value marketing activities. We need to do more of these. Now we're just speculating whether they had that conversation, but it is kind of interesting that around that timeline, all of that stuff disappeared. And it's not like it's just our show. They're not on any show. They have been a couple of David interviews on like various media outlets.
And David's a little different. Like, we can reach out to David and be like, hey, David, what's up? You doing pretty good? Like, you'll tweet and he'll respond to you. Like, there's some interaction, right? But it's not like it was before. So that's clear. Like, that's a fact, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm sure need you to pull up the tool. We're like way behind on super chats. We lost him.
I'll pull him up. So
we lost him.
But I'd like to play devil's advocate with this entire thing, right?
Okay.
Like, if we compare Arcade1up, you just got to ignore the massive amount of scale, massive amount of growth that the company has had, and compare that to, let's call it competition, right? Like the like your at games, your iArcade, whereas they actually have both of them representatives that work with content creators, and they share information. There's an embargo program. There's support, like, hey, you're getting a new product, you want us to help you with it. There's, hey, let's hook you up some free games if you want to add to your, if you can make a video on it, we can take care of that for you. And they're super responsive. Like, if you reach out and be like, hey, got a question about this and this and this, couldn't find the information, I'm working on a review, they're like, yeah, it's this. And so does that mean, Ralph, that the competitors actually have an advantage because the information is flowing so well?
Maybe. I mean, so you could look at it two different ways. So I could answer that two ways. I could say, yes, they have an advantage, but I could also say they need to do it because I think the sheer magnitude of where every company's at as far as units sold is much different, right? Because Arcade1up started it earlier. There was no competition to some degree other than DIY for a while. Like, it was either you bought an Arcade1up if you wanted an arcade cabinet 3/4 scale, or you built one. That was it. Like, there was no, you built one, you bought one that was an original, or you bought the 3/4. Then they had competition. So there's like that year and a half where they had no one. It was just them. So I think now they're so massive. But it does make you wonder, like, is it the right call for them to have removed themselves from the community? I don't really know, but I do think that these other companies, because you have some experience and I do too. Like, when I worked with At Games to get that pinball going, I was yes, granted, I was upset, but here's the thing about upset customers.
Yep.
If you're an upset customer, but the company does the right thing, the power of that is awesome. Because I'm not going to say anything bad because they treated me the right way. I was like, wow, they were very they communicated with me. They were very informative as where things were around the process. There wasn't like days on end I didn't hear from them, and then they resolved my issue. So I'm actually not a detractor. I'm someone in the camp of, I believe that the company is doing the right thing. So
Right. There
I
are
think
companies that truly believe that, and based on data, I've heard this before. I worked with a company that had this, and it was basically like their best return customers are the ones that actually had issues.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And then they come, and then they get the experience of
100% agree with you.
So, like, let's talk about iArcade for a second. So, I have an iArcade, had it for a while, and
You just recently had an issue, right?
that's right. Now, I emailed them, and I'm quite certain that the customer support has no clue that I'm Console Kids. Not that it really matters, but I want to say that because there's people in the comments that'll be like, they treated you special because you're a YouTuber. But I emailed from my personal account, right? Like,
Yeah,
people don't know my last name. Like, someone name my last
that.
name in the chat and see if anyone knows it. I don't think anyone knows it. So,
Well, Zohar probably does, but
maybe
oh,
not.
you think you've actually kept it from him too? Whoa,
Maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
I don't even know what your last name is.
Yeah, right. So I don't have a last name. I'm the Lizard King. Anyway, so no, someone's gonna like put it in my chat. I'm like, great, nice sister for joining the chat. Appreciate it. So anyway, here's my point. This is the first time I don't know if this has ever happened. I emailed iArcade and said, hey, my sound stopped working. Oh crap!
What?
Freaking Stringer Films with the freaking. That's a good guess, Stringer.
It's not the right one though.
It's not the right one though. But he's like paid to be like, it's this name. I'm like, what is that? Okay, anyway. So check this out. This is like the first time that I've ever done this before, where I emailed them and said, hey, I have a sound issue. Like, I don't know what it is. I plug headphones in, and there you go. Like, I put headphones in and it works, but the speakers don't work. And they're like, just send us a video. Like if the video shows that, if we figure out the amp we'll send you a new amp, right?
Yeah.
And then so I didn't respond for a day because I was lazy, whatever. And they emailed me back. They're like, hey, no pressure. Just want to let you know that we can take care of this for you. Just send us and it really did work because I was like, hey, hold on a second. Let me go do that video real quick. So I real quick made a video. I'm like, here it is. And they're like, yep, it's the amp. We'll send you a new one. We'll even send you a label to return the other one. Done.
And how often is it that the company is prodding you to do something? Like, especially when a customer service perspective, like old school customer service is like, how quickly can they get you off the phone so that they don't have, or they can triage you to someone else. But dude, I think that's huge. And I would say if I was in a board meeting of iArcade or At Games, I would say, what does our competition do well and what does our competition not do well? And we would lay that all out on a whiteboard, right? And I would be willing to bet that on the what they don't do well for Arcade1up would be customer service, right? Because that's been a known thing for a while. There's people that are saying it's improving, but for the most part, that was something that was known they don't do well. So it's like, how do I differentiate myself and build a loyal customer base? When they have problems, we nail it out of the park. We give them the best customer experience possible. And I'm not saying that they all do. I'm just saying it seems like from your experience and mine with At Games just recently, they're like upping the game there. So maybe they're going, hey, look, let's make investments in support so that our product, like the confidence level is high in our product. And then we'll also, you could look at some of the other things. I bet on that list of what they don't do well. It's like, well, they don't really quite give them as many games, and people seem to like that dedicated thing, but let's give them more options on the games, right? Because we're trying to build like a platform where they're trying to sell more and more cabinets. Because there could be a philosophy that that's a losing proposition long term. So they're going, let's sell them something that's sort of like, you use this term a lot, and we use this at my job. Let's sell them something evergreen that continues to get better or continues to offer more features because they don't do that. So it's like, I don't know, man. I do feel like there's disadvantages for them backing away. And I think some of these companies are starting to see there's communities being built around it, and they're rallying behind that in hopes that they can get that rocket ship effect.
So that I think is the problem that Arcade1up has. We can sit here all day and say it is ridiculous at the Arcade1up scale that they would.
Your last name's Diggler, by the way. He
Diggler.
got it. He finally got it.
Dang
it. Damn it.
Crap. I'm out. Now everyone knows. But like, think about it. Like, they are big enough that maybe it's true that they shouldn't be hanging out with a jump of,
It's distracting. There's lots of haircut comments coming in on the chat.
Let's talk about that just for a second. So there's a super chat from Stringer Films, and he says, haircut? WTF? I'm going to do the office line. It was like, what's up, big haircut? You are no longer called Tuna. From henceforth, you will now be called Haircut.
Well, I just had to cut it. It was getting crazy. And so,
That's right. And Peter Griffin, Electric Drums, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, hey guys, Peter Griffin in the house. How do you do, the Peter Griffin? Go ahead, think about it while I talk about this.
Okay.
This is especially interesting to me because Peter Griffin, Electric Drums, has been a fan of a lot of the home arcade YouTubers for a long time. And his day is coming. His day is coming, my friend. He will be having a Simpsons cabinet that he will, because Peter Griffin, he looks the cartoons, right? And he's going to love it, and he's going to get it before Zohar gets his Mortal Kombat 1. And that's amazing. So, great job, Peter Griffin. You've been holding on for a long time, and pretty soon it's coming for you.
Yeah.
And then Don Chaffee with the Babykades have leak guards. Do you know that? Do you know about that? And now the Bachelor is going crazy about how great your haircut is. He's like, dude, Holmes, like, homie, thumbs up, man. Like, your haircut is the bomb.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentles, thank you very much for watching.
Gentles, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice, you did it. That's your impression. That's good. So your average gamer's like, this is going to be my compliment. He no longer looks like a homeless dude. So there you go. See, there's different kinds of compliments you can give. LJ Katz has a good point here. And we talked about this today, actually, before we started the show. It's easy to have great customer service with a significantly smaller install base. Not an excuse, just saying.
He's right.
So that is right. That is true. So I'll tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, okay, let me tell you real quick. So it's really interesting because more and more I think about it, I'm like, okay, you got this company that's really high scale, but the customer service isn't that great. But then they're giving you like these big title products, but they're not as premium. So how much is premium worth to you? You know, like,
yeah.
So to a certain extent, like, here's the thing. Arcade, I actually have a lot of faith in, right? Like,
yeah, I think Zhang is like no joke. He's
like,
trying to.
Dude, think about CES. If he would have sat there and said, "So this machine, yeah, we'll have over 200 games in our store in no time. Like, you know, within a year, we'll have 200." Like, really? You're gonna have 200 games a la carte you're gonna purchase? And he's like, "We're gonna get closer and closer and closer to really big titles, and maybe we'll be able to pull off something like a Street Fighter." And this is the thing. Like, if John can do it, if he can be like, "Hey, we got Street Fighter, we got Mortal Kombat, we got some big title out there," then all of a sudden it's like, why wouldn't you buy that? Because it's super high-end quality. It's a bigger screen. It's not a 16 by 9 screen.
You know, you just made me think, what if he could get like, what if Zhang's like, we don't know this. What if Zhang in the background's like, yeah, I'm working with Capcom to get Arcade Stadium on my, like the Arcade Stadium app on my thing. Like what? Like that would be freaking amazing because it has all the dip switch settings. It has all the difficulty settings. Like that would be really cool. If he pulls something like that off, that's really neat. I mean, I know that aesthetically there's always going to be the crowd that's going to want it to kind of resemble more of like what they remember as a kid. That's always going to exist.
So he wants Arcade. I usually wear long sleeves because I'm self-conscious about my. No,
is it cold in Iowa right now?
No, I have hairy arms and.
I don't understand how you have. I got to ask you something. This is a personal thing, though, a little bit. How do you, who's not Italian, have more hair than me, who's 100% Italian?
I don't know. Maybe I'm 100% Italian and you don't even know. Yeah, I'm actually German. So, no, German. Oh. I'm 100% German. 100%. I would say
something really awkward that Wicked Gamer taught me in German, but then if anybody looks it up, they'll think it's weird. It wouldn't offend you. It'd actually make you uncomfortable if you knew what it meant, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, Teen Wolf Justin. Okay, so back to Arcade1up, but they're still like, it's really interesting because they keep coming out with products, and I think this is their strategy. With every new product we come out with, we're going to make it slightly better and slightly worse at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, like, actually, the new Countercades, we'll see when they come in, right?
It's like emotionally, it's an emotional roller coaster to be an Arcade1up fan, though. Yeah. Like, to be a dedicated Arcade1up fan, I feel like it's an emotional roller coaster because I think deep down, if indeed our viewers are the small minority group compared to the 1 million, 1.5 million, whatever, it's hard because we all have these. It's like we've convinced ourselves that it's good enough. but there's all these things we still want out of it that they're not really showing us any hint that they want to do. You know, there's always like, I don't know, there's always like some cut corner somewhere, and it's just, it kind of feels unfortunate for like the super fan, but that's why I believe they don't care as much about the super fan. They're not going to say, you know, Twitter from David McIntosh, or a tweet from David McIntosh, hey guys, thanks for all the purchases. Screw those super fans though. Like, they're not going to say that, but you know.
So do you want to call John, butt dial him, and see if he answers?
Dude, I'm not going to, out of, honestly, Rainwater, I know where, I like your logo. Pull that back up. He's really rolling with the rain thing. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I honestly, out of respect for John, he's kind of like made it clear that we're friends, but like, don't call me right now kind of thing. So
yeah,
I just feel
true.
like that's, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but
so we got to mention this. Zohar, he paid a $5 super chat. Let's talk about it. So people do crazy things when they're mad. I think John D is very mad at 1UP, and I think he's retaliating by helping Bill with Unico. I think it's Capcom related. I disagree with you, Zohar.
I disagree too,
because I think this is what he did.
This is your talk track here.
Totally. I think John D went to Scott and said, "Hey, I have a way where we can make a buttload of money in the next 3 months." He's like, "How's that?" He's like, "Hear me out. We work with Unico." Like, how?
This would be so much cooler if you were actually Scott.
I'm not going to be Scott. Whatever.
Okay.
So I think that's what happened. And then I think the people at Unico high up were like, "You need to talk to John." And they're like, "Let's make it happen. Hey, Bill, you talk to John, and when those Unico guys going to talk to John, what do we have to lose?" And I think there in the beginning, I know there was communications and it kind of fell off. And I think it came together. And if people are serious about, hey, there's a Unico, here's the funny thing. Like, I think, here's the thing. Like, we actually, talking about Unico, we have a pretty good relationship with Unico.
Yeah.
But one of the relationships with Unico is kind of like, they're like, here's what we're working on. Don't talk about it.
Yep.
But we want to let you know. And the reason why they want to let us know is because they ask Ralph, "Well, what do you think of that?" And they ask me, "Well, what do you think of that?" Yeah. And actually really love working with Unico, because
there's some really cool projects that are like off the radar of like what you'd even think they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, which is really cool.
We've been involved so early in the Unico process, and I think I can say this, but I can't say the specifics. It's, hey, we just got a license. We're thinking about doing something like this. What do you think? Like, what would you do with the license? And I was like, oh, that's a good one. Well, you could do that. Let me think of it as something else. What if you did this? And he's like, that'd be weird. And then he comes back with, well, what if we did this with that? And there was actually this conversation. It was about 2 hours, me and the guy from Unico going back and forth. And at the end of it, we were like, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And we don't even really know who came up with the idea. It was basically from the collaboration back and forth. And then he texted me the other day and he's like, "Dude, I got the executives to sign off on it. Like, it's greenlit." And
so what do you think about this, Justin? This is piggybacking on this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Companies that are startups do this a lot. They'll like spin out another company to like go develop something for their second product, and then they spin them back in. I mean, this obviously isn't happening, but how cool would it be if like Unico became their like high-end line? And you know what I mean? I mean, I know this isn't going to happen. It's a cool comment though by Dreamcast Kyle. Like, imagine if that would be cool. But I mean, I get what you're saying, Dreamcast Kyle. I love that idea.
Both of them are private companies, right? It's not like Arcade1up is a public company.
Public, yeah.
Like, what if behind the scenes they're like, we just bought you?
It would be really cool for this reason. If I feel like there's this demand, and I know it's small, I really do think it's small, and I know we don't have the data, so we can never confirm this with our audience. We can't be like, oh my God, we're really the minority, and this is why. But I do think that. I 100% think that. I think the super fans are a minority, but the ones that mod them and do all this stuff. But I do think that if Arcade1up said, we're building a pro line, and here is all the characteristics of a pro line. This is what it's better wood. It's better built. You know, we're going to do premium. Now. Yeah, we're going to do premium features. Everything is going to be premium about it. I believe there is enough fans out there of the product that they would support that idea. It'd have to be in line with people's thoughts. Like, I think it'd be really neat. Like, I'll use one product, for example. if Arcade1up said, look, pinball seems to be popular for us. We're going to build our pro line. We're working with Zen. It's going to have a 32-inch screen. It's going to have a backlash, DMD, everything, dynamic backlash, and it's going to have full access to the Zen store. Whatever Zen FX3 stuff you want is going to be there, but the things that cost you $1,200 bucks. I think people would buy that. 100%, I think they would. Even if it was $1,500 I think they'd buy it. It came preloaded with 10 Zen titles, and then you a la carte the rest of them. I think people would buy it. Problem is, I don't know I just think that's so against their core business model. But the fear is, like you and I talked about this before, Justin, is there an end of the runway for this business model of another cabinet, 4 games, another cabinet, 5 games, another cabinet, 5? Is there end of the road to that? Or can they just keep going until they run out of titles? That's the burning question that none of us have the answer to.
Even if they run out of titles, it means there's an end. Right.
Yeah, well, they will run out of titles eventually.
We talked to John about that a long time ago, and he said no. And the reason why, and this is so Arcade1up.
He's like, have you seen how many versions of Pac-Man we got?
Right. He's like, when we get to the end, we just start over again, right? Be like, it's Gen 12, right? Yeah, it's gonna put At Games Waves to shame. It's just gonna take a lot longer to happen. But here's the thing: there's a couple of people in the chat, and they're talking about like Arcade1up buying Unico would be horrible because the Unico would then only have 4 games. And I don't think that would happen. It would be, hey, you do your model, and maybe what Ralph was saying earlier was like, what if there was like this, and you were talking about what if there was a wing of Arcade1up almost. It was like, hey, you guys go after this, and it probably already exists. Like the Countercade may not even be from the same team that's working on the 3/4 scale.
Can I tell you, can I be Justin? Can I be completely like open about the Countercade? I don't understand. I would be willing to bet, I would put money on it, that most people that buy the Countercades, they mod them and then they never play them. I just don't think they play them. I think if people are saying they do, they're lying. I think the Countercade is like the dumbest thing. I don't know why. I just hate the Countercade.
It's even worse for me because I buy them and then I don't mod them and then I don't play them. And yet I want the new one.
Because the problem is you need something to put it on. Like,
no, like we've had episodes about this. What do you
put your Countercades on? What are they on right now? What are they on?
On the floor.
Do you play them on the floor? Do you get down on the floor?
No, they're just on the floor. They're just on the floor.
What the heck are they doing on the floor?
They're in my office because eventually I want to put them somewhere. So right now they're just on the floor until I find a spot for them.
But see, Mike says I use them as decorations.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the idea.
It's the under Countercade. It's the arcade under Countercade. Actually, it would be the carpetcade for you. It's right. The carpetcade.
But okay, so I've been thinking about it. Like, I want to get the new one. And there's this arcade auction by Ryan Berger. You know Ryan Berger, right?
Yeah, we did a video for Pie Packer.
Yeah,
He's
Ryan
the one
Berger
that runs the old school gamer magazine.
He lives like 5 miles. I think he like used to be mayor of Grimes or something like that.
You were supposed to meet with him like 700 years ago, and then you never did.
So next year he's got an auction, and I was going to reach out to him and be like, hey, Ryan, like it's Console Kits. Remember me? And he'd be like, who are you? Like, okay, so there's this show called, never mind. Anyway, I'm nobody, but could I sell an Arcade1up Countercade at your auction?
Oh, dude, you should. Then
I want to go live, like 1UP Weekly. We go live at that auction, and I'm gonna sell some of my arcade, and everyone can be like, "How much is it gonna go for?" Now, at the last auction that I was at, the cheapest the cheapest thing went for $65, and I bought it. By the way, it was my buy. But I'm wondering, like, if the Countercade will go for like $100 or something like that.
Maybe. I mean, they remember at Captain's, it went over $300 and it didn't even have a riser. Dude, and I was like, what?
Yeah, dude. At the arcade, they had one. It was a custom made 3/4 scale machine. It was horrible looking. It was basically a Countercade that was all white, that was on a pedestal. It sold for $300 and had a 16-1 in it. It was like the ugliest thing. It was white, but then all scuffed up, and it still went for $300.
I know. It's weird. Well, I think
I have a Space Invaders new in box, and I'm like, I want to bring that there and be like, it's rare.
It's rare. Oh God, it's rare. So LJ Cat says I've considered getting a Countercade for my bar, like a Mega Touch. See, that's the thing.
That's what I bought. I bought a Mega Touch for $65 at that last auction.
But you know what would be a cool poll if you had the ability to do it is who has a bar top other than their kitchen counter that they could put it on? Because like
what you're saying is who actually has the space, right?
Who has a counter for their Countercade that isn't their kitchen counter, because that doesn't count.
All right, hit 0 if you don't have the space. Hit 1 if you do.
Wait, what if it's you have a counter or you don't have a counter? Or
if you have a spot for your Countercade,
okay. And a shelf doesn't count because you don't play it on your shelf. That doesn't count.
All right.
I want to make sure that this is a fair assessment here. By the way, this is all you need to know. Michael B is like, I've never bought a Countercade.
Wow. You're missing out, man. You could be just like us. One of us.
But no, what do you mean? You guys are a small percentage according to this. No, you guys are a small percentage according to this.
Dude, I have to tell you. Yes, Zohar, I'll get to it. Someone commented on a video today, and I loved it. It was the best comment I have heard in a really long time. And it was the Babycade. I can't wait to see a picture on social media of someone with an entire room of Babycades. It was so good.
Dude, I'm literally, no joke, I'm gonna get back into modding because of the Babycade, and I'm gonna I'm gonna have diaper bags on the side so you can like quickly change. It's gonna fold down. There's gonna be a changing table connected to the like a safe changing table that folds down. I'm gonna counterweight it. Like, this thing's gonna be badass. Like, babies everywhere are gonna be like, do you see the Ralph mod on the Babycade? This thing's awesome.
It's funny, like, the Countercade, forget the Countercade. We're modding the Babycade.
Dude, we're on the Babycades all day.
Even Sabo's in. Sabo is already signed up. He's going to make special like artwork for the Babycade. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
So there's a comment here. I missed it. This thing is actually really cool. We didn't have plans to cover it. I don't know, Justin. We didn't talk, so I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, but the Taito little tabletop thing that's sort of looking like the Sega Astro City is really freaking cool. They added a I'm kind of over, unfortunately, I feel like the more of these products that come out, the more over them I am, because I've noticed a theme that I have with them. I buy them and they don't, because they're so small, they're not things I really play. They're things I put somewhere to, like, on a display case or something. But the one genius thing, and I know most of the people that watch our show aren't huge into the Act Games thing all the time, but Act Games had proposed this Tetris cabinet, and you had the ability to, for vertical games, you could unscrew your screen.
Oh, I saw that, dude. I saw it. Tell it.
No, so all right. So that's the Act Games has had this idea. Well, on the Taito thing, the little tabletop, which we could pull up the video if we want to, you can actually, like, without unscrewing anything, rotate the screen to play vertical games, which that's a pretty genius idea. But to me, when I saw that, I'm like, that's cool. But why doesn't one of these companies do that? Like, why doesn't 1UP or Act Games do it? And maybe Act Games still could. So you don't have to unscrew the screen. Like, maybe you push it in and it's on a rotating arm and you can just rotate it.
Like
that'd be
swivel?
Freaking cool. Yeah, like something where it could just freely move and there'd be enough cables and stuff.
Think about it.
That'd be awesome.
And then we're done with the whole.
We're done with the whole vertical.
I'm so sad that the Tempest doesn't have a vertical screen.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm so sick of saying that.
We do impressions of dumb people too. It's great.
Yeah, see, like, so even Michael B is like, the rotating monitor is amazing. Wish they did that on the Tempest. Yeah, I think that these companies should be looking at stuff like this and going, no, I didn't say no. He's smart.
He's just teasing, guys. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, they need to do that. They really. But here's what?
Go ahead.
The crazy thing is I just like bagged on Countercades being stupid. But if they make a TMNT, if they're gonna have that, when I see a TMNT Countercade, I'm gonna get it. I'm putting it here on my desk.
Well, so I can tell you one thing that will make you happy, Ralph. Real quick, I'll show you. So I was pulling it up because I was trying to find who mentioned that awesome comment. But while I was in the YouTube, I was like, here's all of the comments that I have on YouTube that have the word baby in it, by the way.
I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you for making Babycade a reality, because Toy Shark, that ran its course, but we did pretty good on the Toy Shark. And I think Babycade, that was an organic thing from the show, and I am so glad that Babycade will live on.
But we messed up.
Why did we mess up?
We messed up because we didn't come up with the Arcade, and that was brilliant.
Arcade is pretty brilliant.
Yeah, we were like the I Arcade, and people were like, okay, I Arcade.
You're right.
And then Mad
Arcade
Little
is
Pixel's
better.
like, what is this? The Arcade? I'm like, oh God, dude, it's perfect.
I know.
It's like
the thing
best.
that I don't get, and you brought up a good point. I'll make this a 2-second thing. I called Justin the other day. I'm like, dude, why is there 2 I's in I Arcade? Like everyone's saying I Arcade now. And he's like, you said this, and I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're like, well, maybe it has to do with Apple. They didn't want Apple to sue them, so they just put a second I there, and they just but like no one ever told anybody that it's just I Arcade.
Right.
We were all saying I for a long time. We were I in it for a good at least 12
while there, they were
months.
like, Jong was like, listen, we like it both ways. I Arcade or I Arcade. It's however you want to pronounce it. Because I Arcade, it's all about friendship. So if you like I Arcade, that's good. If you like I Arcade, that's good too. And then now he's like, it's I Arcade. Stop saying I Arcade because it's I Arcade.
Dummies. We never said that. We never said it was good. We liked it both ways.
And it's definitely not Arcade.
Yeah, it's definitely not
So
Arcade.
Zohard's gonna kill us. So
why is he gonna
says,
kill us? What did we do wrong?
Because I didn't read his super chat. It's
better get on that then.
I did that on purpose so he'd clip it later and send it to me and be like, "That was hilarious, dude." Hi, future self. If Arcade1up buys Unico and then starts releasing 3-game Unico CADs, I will not only start a 1UP hate page, I'm gonna start a 1UP hate YouTube channel.
Wow.
Woo!
Aren't you kind of shocked though? Aren't you kind of a little
Console
bit shocked?
fanboy coming soon.
Aren't you kind of shocked that there are not hate channels for these products? Like there are not any. All right, I'm gonna expose.
I
something.
know of a few.
I'm gonna expose something where I actually Justin and I wanted to do for a while, but we're not doing it. So if someone does it and takes the idea, it's not us. But we were gonna do this thing where we were gonna have an anonymous YouTube channel where we'd be like anonymous, like the group Anonymous, where we would be completely disguised.
That idea was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we would be completely disguised. You wouldn't know who we are. We'd have voice things, and we would say the things that the community would say that was negative about the product. Like for instance, we'd be like, think of what's something that's bad about an Arcade1up. Just think of something like the
Customer service is bad, but the sticks are bad.
There are reports that the artwork on the cabinets is rubbing off. Arcade1up knew about it. Now you know about it.
Whatever, something stupid. But that was going to be our thing, and we were going to have this channel, and then we never did it because it was stupid. But
yeah,
it was
see.
done.
And Peter Griffin's like, you got to do the voice, right? What's the Peter Griffin voice?
I can't really do it without like being in motion, though. It's like one of those things where like I can't just do it.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah, it's
hey,
like
Peter Griffin, electric drums here. Thank you, Ralph. I hate Countercades. I have no clue where that voice came from. It's not even
Countercads. He actually said CADs. Countercads. Countercads.
It's the Arcade1up Countercade.
Can I show you something I was excited about today? I'll tell you a little brief story. It's super fast.
Okay.
So okay, a fan of the show, his name is hold on, let me make sure I have it right. I don't want to say it wrong. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Okay, his name is Andrew Will, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, I have this arcade cabinet and I want to give it to you for free." And I was like, "Whoa."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Whoa, no." I was like, "No, I can't accept that, blah, blah." He's like, "No, I really want you to have it. Like, you're really into arcade stuff. I want you to have this arcade game." And so I'm like, okay, when I looked up, it's big, right? It's big, it's heavy, and I'm like, I don't know. So then Roundhouse Rudy, who lives about...
Or Rudy Roundhouse, I'm not sure which way.
I don't know. I always get it wrong, and I was just with him today. I don't even know. So I was like, "Hey, will you help me with this?" And I'm like, "This isn't an easy task. It's on me." So he did. So I want to show you what it is because I'm really excited about it. It's just a quick little like 2-second video because I didn't tell you that I got.
Oh, this is that thing where you're like, "Hey, in the show, I'm going to do something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until the stream." Okay,
yeah,
all right,
it's
cool.
really neat. I think a lot of people. I think there's a lot of fans of this game here who will actually be excited about this too. So here it is.
gonna get what you got. Look at those guns.
Ignore the rolling, it's just because of the refresh rate on the monitor, so I'm sorry about that, but awesome.
Dang.
Yeah, free. Free. You can't beat free. Yeah, it's really cool. So thank you, Andrew, for that. And dude, so here's what's crazy. So the front of the panel was taken off because you have to plug all the wire harnesses back in. But here's what's crazy about it, dude. First of all, the sound on that cabinet is out of control. It has
Really?
yes, it has 2 woofers on the front, and then it has another 2 speakers on the top part. But that's not all. The thing that's so crazy is, dude, it blows my mind. How big do you think the monitor is in that thing?
19-inch.
Why would you think that?
I don't know. I just threw it at 25-inch.
No, that's the thing. I was shocked, dude. So it has, I don't know how to explain it. It has this like convex or maybe be concave. I don't know. Concave. It has this concave mirror. So unlike my T2, the T2 just has a flat mirror. It has this little itty bitty monitor, but it looks huge. It's
Okay.
crazy cool. It's
Hold on a
crazy
second.
cool.
Hold on. Oh, interesting.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Okay, I see those big speakers. I can tell you that.
Yeah. See, that's what you're looking at is that
Ignore the
mirror.
rolling, it's just because of the
It's
refresh
not
rate
the screen. It looks
on the
huge.
monitor, so I'm sorry about that, but
Did they magnify it or something?
It is. I think it's I think that's what it is. It's magnified.
Dude, my
or something.
grandma had one of those, but like in her living room, you know?
Dude, it's crazy. I was blown away. And the other thing that's weird is that game, this version of the game is in Japanese. Like the text, some of the text is in Japanese. And I can't find, this one has that pedestal in the front.
Yeah.
All of the VirtuaCop ones I find have gun holders in the front and not that front pedestal part. So I don't know. It's weird. It's like a magnified mirror and it has this thing. And it might be a rare version of it. I'm not sure. But when I look it up, all I see is some guy from like 1994 at E3, and he's like, he works for Sega. He looks so
this is what we're gonna do.
uninterested.
This
Anyway.
is your new mod. You're gonna figure out how, game magnification works. Hear me out. And then we're gonna take a Babycade. Be like, look, Mom, the screen's 25-inch now. Let's talk about the Babycade just for a second. There's an overwhelming
Glenn's
amount of
Retro
people.
Show is in the house, by the way.
What's up, buddy?
And so many people are looking for that spinner, man. They're looking for that GRS spinner
the
because
new
they got the
Tempest. I
Tempest
hope you're doing
cabinet.
good.
So go visit Glenn's Retro Show. Go look for the GRS spinner if you bought that because you're going to want to upgrade that for sure.
I really regret something with Glenn. Last
know,
year, right before CES, right after CES, immediately after CES 2020, I flew to New York to start my new job. So I'm in New York, right? I'm in New York for a week.
You didn't.
And I was
see
like, Glenn, let's get together. And there was this thing where like we were going to do this thing where he was going to let me come to his house. I was hoping he would. And we were kind of talking about that. And he would like make a video and then I would be like, hey-oh, like I'd be in his like room, right? And we were kind of working out the details and then it just didn't work out, right? Like it was a train ride away and I actually was kind of nervous not to go see Glenn, but to take that trip because I was new to New York anyway. But then the pandemic happened like immediately. So I had a chance to hang out with Glenn and it didn't happen. And I really regret that, man. Next time, yeah.
By the way, I mean both. You want to get the GRS spinner and you want to get the GRS trackball because that cabinet has both. So you want to have both. So sorry, I forgot about the trackball.
Speaking of modifications,
although I don't know if it supports that. Actually, Glenn, does your trackball and spinner support that model yet? Probably should have figured that out first.
This is what I want to see Glenn to make. Glenn, you should do this. Do this for me, buddy. Work with your guy and make a Glenn attachment that can go onto the arcades. Have you seen some people are 3D printing like the little attachment that makes it's a gate adjustment, a restrictor gate adjustment that goes on top of the cabinet, right?
But there's someone that already makes those.
Right. But I want Glenn's version.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I'm not going there.
Well, look. If there's some type of like IP protection or whatever against that, if there's not, if it's kind of like this open idea that anyone could use, or maybe his manufacturers already use that, it's just not introduced in our market at a higher quality.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see Glenn. I would buy several of those.
So we got a quick update. The trackball does work with the new Tempest, but the spinner is being worked on, it sounds like. So they're figuring that out. We're working on it, Glenn said. So that's good. He said we got some good things coming. Zohar is, I guess, publicly apologizing for something. I don't know what it is. He said, Glenn, please accept my apology. Last month, I blamed you for my post going down. It had nothing to do with you. Please forgive me. Please. I don't know if he'd say it like that. That made it sound really stupid.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it.
Please. All right. Now I feel dumb.
Ho, Zohar. So let's wrap up this topic, right? So
Yeah.
where do we land with this idea that Arcade1up has just, what have they did? What have they done?
Holy crap. We got
ghosted
Tulsa Arcades is here too.
freaking Tulsa. All right, man.
What's up, dude?
He's got some cool stuff coming. Because being a YouTuber has its benefits, because everyone reaches out and are like, hey, this is what we're working on. And then we tease it on shows and don't talk about it. But honestly, Tulsa, he's a good dude.
He is a good dude. I was actually, for a while, he was showing me videos that people were like dumpster diving outside of he has a security camera outside of where his work is. And it was awesome. There's all sorts of stuff that happens by that dumpster. Kongs R Us is here too. Wow. Hey, buddy. It is a party on Friday. There's like 700 more shows that follow this show. So you can just talk about home arcade for the whole rest of the night. Ignore your family.
It's so crazy. Like,
ignore
you
your
don't know about
kids.
this, right? You don't know about this. In the last few weeks, it's now 100% circle. So there's a show after this one and then after this, and it continues all the way till next Friday now. It's like a perfect loop. We actually worked out the schedule. We worked out a schedule between a whole bunch of YouTubers, and that we never overlap, and they all span out. So all you got to do to get onto the circle is go into YouTube and type in live stream right after the show, and you'll find another one. And when that show ends, type in live stream, you'll find another one. And I guarantee you will never end all the way until back to our show. It's great. So anyway, where do we land with this conversation?
Like, ignore my family. Ha ha. He's like, but I probably will. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're not going to.
Where are we going to land? Arcade1up needs to do something, right? Or are we just going to let it go and say, you know what? It is what it is. Arcade1up is now bigger than all of us. And we can just live.
Are you wanting to come do you want to come to a conclusion on it?
I think so.
But it's obviously our own opinion on it, right? Like, it's
Sure.
what we think. All right. I'd be surprised if they go back to, personally, I'd be surprised if they go back to being as involved in the community and as like super open and just like kind of spouting out whatever like they did when they were a part of our show during that time period. I'd be really shocked if they went back to, I think if they do go on a show, it's going to be super prescriptive. It's going to be very like, this is what we're going to say. They're not going to hint toward anything. They're going to tease anything. It's going to be very like almost scripted as to the answers they'd give. That's what I think.
It probably won't be John. It probably won't be Scott. I would bet money it would be David McIntosh.
Yep.
He'll do a decent job, but he will be very diplomatic about it. And maybe he'll smile and laugh, but that's it. And that's fine. And I think actually David, he has a really good skill set. Like his ability to know everything that's coming out and then do an interview and it's just like,
yeah,
control.
And he doesn't go down those paths he knows he shouldn't go down from a licensing perspective. I mean, there are ramifications. We've talked about this before. Sure. There are negative. If you're in the middle of a negotiation and something goes bad, yeah, him or the new CMO. Mm-hmm. If you're in a new negotiation for some deal that's a big IP that you want, and like all of a sudden everyone's talking about it, you got to think there is that barrier where like some of the other companies might lose trust and go, I don't know if we want to do this. Why is this already being leaked out or whatever? So
Right.
I think you're going to see them be a lot more careful. There was a super chat here where, I don't know, Zohar said, I'm going into a full depression now. Bye forever.
He just wanted to hear.
You mean say that?
No, he wanted to hear Glenn say, it's cool, man. But he didn't get that from Glenn. So he's a little upset.
I'm sure Glenn is a really nice guy. I'm sure he's it's all good. All right. C-Mart, the C-Center trainer? What is that? Center
C-Mart,
trainer? Centertainer.
Centertainer.
Mm-hmm. The trackball does work by taking the jumper off. Okay, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate that. Do you know which jumper? Maybe there's only one. The perfect symbiotic circle of arcade live streams. That was Meatball Saucy. Thanks, buddy.
There you go. So have you guys seen, there was a tweet by Arcade1up.
Tweet.
Just today, just like within, like an hour or so? And what do you guys think of this tweet? Now I think, first of all, it's my belief that all of these leaks, I think, Ralph, you agree with this, all the leaks, 100% Arcade1up is not behind them. Absolutely.
Oh, no, I don't think so at all.
There's no way. Because if they are...
I don't think so.
Because we still have a communication with David. And David seemed a little stressed out the day of the leaks. He would be like, wow, that's a real power move to be like, oh my God, we're like freaking out right now. Like,
I wish I could say what David texted me.
But in general, what do you say? It's been one of those days. It's really tough, with everything going on. So, but look what they tweeted today. Look what they tweeted today.
I know.
I think this is them finally going, okay, let's have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Because I look at that and tell me in the chat, when everyone sees that picture, Happy National Donut Day from Arcade1up, you don't want to miss what we have coming soon. Like, what is that? Anyone in the chat? No. Let's just get that.
All right, while they're doing that, I'll go through some super chats. Glenn, please love me. And then we have hold on,
Simpsons.
You missed a super chat.
Go ahead.
C-Mart Supercenter said there's only one jumper, so that's the only one you have to change. So there you go. Or take off, I believe. You take off the jumper.
I love LJ Katz too. He's like, come on, you guys know about the leak. Stop it. This is embarrassing.
That is funny. Actually.
But then everyone else is all like, yeah, nice job. That was a Simpsons clue. We appreciate it. But a lot of people are also like, look at this David Grohl, Garage Gamer. Nah.
Garage Gamer does have some really good responses when it comes
really
to like, sending GIFs back or GIFs. What is it? GIFs or GIFs?
Look, we're going to end this right now. It's
is it a GIF? I say GIF.
I do not care that the creator says it's pronounced GIF.
I say
creators
GIF.
of words do not get to
I know I've heard you say
how
this
they're
a
pronounced.
lot, actually.
It's probably so much annoying, but it will never end. Everyone's going to be like, you're that guy that says GIF, right? And he's like, well, the creator said that. I'm like, yeah, but you're the only one in the room saying it that way.
Wait, Hobby Hans says, are my super chats not showing up? Do you have any on Hobby Hans? Hobby Hans? Do you have any Hobby Hans?
Let me
look at our app because it's broken for me. Call David on stream. Get the kid on the phone. Let's settle this John D. No, Rainwater, that would not be a good idea. That would not be good.
So we got Cement. The last one was there's only one jumper. And then Zohar saying, Glenn, please love me. And then
wait, there should be a Hobby Hands one.
Here we go. Hobby Hands. Who is moderating SC? Would appreciate a look over.
All right. Lewis, get on it, buddy. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But it is Lewis. All right. Damn it, Justin. The site isn't.
Maybe Hobby Hands is saying, like, you didn't read my other one. Did we read the one that says they have the Babycade? They still have to come up with the geriatric-cade or toilet-cade. P.S. I really want someone to make a last Starfighter cap.
Wow.
Ralph is like, Justin, you're not supposed to laugh at that.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, look at Paul with the, yeah, but it's a retronym. So it stands for graphic interface format, and graphic is a hard G. So
Why did I buy
it's
this?
GIF, not GIF. I have no clue, but I'm ending the stream.
Do you know what it is?
In
Do you know what it is?
20,
Do you guys know what it is?
19.
Hold on. No, don't do
18.
that. Don't do that yet. No, don't
Okay,
do
go
that.
ahead.
Don't do that
What
yet.
is it?
Do you
What
guys
is
know what this is?
It's a
Someone's
gun.
Someone's got to know what it is. It's a gun from a very iconic shooter game.
You mean you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's
It's not
toy.
that one, but it is. It looks like. Oh, Walter got it.
Walter got it.
Put up Walter's. thing.
Walter for the win.
Yeah, it's Lethal Enforcers. But this is a Genesis one. This is the Genesis one for Lethal Enforcers. I don't know why I bought it. I saw it at this little retro game store, and it was in really good shape. It looks almost brand new.
That
But
FOMO
it's
will
just
get
gonna,
you.
yeah, it's just gonna go in a drawer probably. I mean, I will probably make a video at some point just because I like light guns and light guns are fun. But
Well,
I
it's
don't
been
know.
a great and fun evening, and it's been fun hanging out with you, Ralph,
It
and
has.
everyone in the chat. Don't forget to
It's
hit
been very
like and
fun.
subscribe, and we will. I think we're planning on doing a members live stream sometime this month.
and isn't there an auction coming up soon? I want to say there's an auction coming up in like.
June 21st.
Is it okay?
I
Yeah, we
wanna
want to
say-
do that. And then when's that auction near you? Because I really do want to come out and we if he'll agree that we can do the show from the auction. He said no.
No. Maybe, but I think it's the week you're in Ohio. I think it's the E3 week. I think. I'll look into it. It
Yeah,
might be
let me
July,
know.
so I might be wrong.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
And then I just want to say one more thing. So guys, that contest, the impersonate Retro Ralph contest, some of the things, the submissions are so good. Like there are some that nail like all my weird idiosyncrasies. And there was one in particular, I'm not gonna say who it was, where Kim was like, holy crap, that person just nailed you big time. It was
I have an
really
idea.
good.
I'm going to
What?
throw it. Do you mind if I throw out an idea like here live on the show? Like,
I don't care. Well, what does it require? Does it require me to do anything?
What if on the reveal, this is how you pick a winner?
I don't know how to pick a winner yet, by the way. I don't know.
I have an idea. You go live on Retro Ralph Live with
Yeah.
Kim, and you watch all of them with Kim, and the winner is whatever Kim laughs at. the
Oh, I
most.
like that. I like that.
It's
That's
like
actually pretty-
whatever
yeah.
can get because she's gonna laugh at whichever one is like the funniest impression.
Yeah, she's only seen one so far. So does that mean she's tainted though that she's seen one already?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it a dumb idea? Hit 0 if you think it's a dumb idea. 1 if you think that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
All right,
That's
Mark
fair
says
idea.
great idea. Your average gamer just says agree. Oh, someone says we should all vote.
We could try to figure out how to do that.
Could we? How would we do that? Would we just have to label each video and then you'd have to like? How would we do that?
If you did it as a live stream, I could wire up my tool to. I mean, it's already approved for a Retro Ralph Live account, so you can log into it.
I would need you to help me with that. I
can
wouldn't
help
be
you
able to
with
do
it.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe why don't you just be on the show with me and then we'll just do it like that.
Sure.
Okay, because I want to pick the winner soon. I never made a YouTube video on it to publish it to like everyone. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted people to have the chance to win it. I didn't want it to be like this mass thing. So right now there's only like, honestly, it's not too late. All you have to do is submit something fun that's like poking fun at me or impersonating me. And it could be up to 30 seconds, and you just email it to retroralph1980@gmail. And if you win an Xbox Series X. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool prize.
So when does the submission end? Have you figured that out yet?
Well, it was supposed to be today, but if people are really interested in still submitting, then I'd let it go another like couple days or through the weekend. Like maybe I could just say it's through the weekend.
Right. Yeah, maybe you could schedule that live stream
Yeah.
for
when
when it will be. So it's like you have to have your submissions in by when we go live, and then we're gonna play them all as long as there's nothing that's inappropriate or something like that, right?
All right, Mike
And
says
then we'll
Monday.
do the
All right.
live. Yeah.
I'll give it till Monday, and then I'll work to get something scheduled in the next couple days. So that'll be good.
Cool.
Cool, man.
Italian goodbye.
My wife wants me to do it. You should do it, Michael.
Yeah.
I don't know
hey
if Kongs
guys.
is doing "Hey guys" or
think
I don't
that's
know
what
what he's doing.
That's what he's doing. He's like working on his impression right here, right now.
Well, what do you mean this Monday? Yeah, Zohar, you already submitted yours, so you're good. You're good, man. Oh, he did a Justin impersonation too. Did I miss that?
I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one. I'll have to go look that up. All right, are we calling it a night? You don't want to do like
Generals gathered at their masses.
you don't want to do a song?
It would be really cool if John D just showed up right now. That'd be like,
Is he?
like.
Oh, I saw like something down there, and I thought that was something that you added to the stream. I was like, I thought this was like John D coming in, but then I'm like, no, that's Dave Grohl. It's not John D.
It's Dave Grohl.
That would be pretty cool. There's no way for it. Mandy wants you to do a song, so I mean, we could. You should just do something real quick. Do like one little, even if it's not a full song.
That's dumb.
It is. Oh. Okay.
Okay, I tell you what I'll do.
I don't even have a John D clip, so we can pretend to have John D. All I have is the what's called one. I'm not going to do the Beyonce one because we get hit every time.
Don't do that. I tell you what I'll do. This is the only thing I'll do. Real quick.
We have the John D phone call clip. Do you remember that one? It's a pretty good clip. Can we play it really quick while you decide
fine.
on the song? It's a good clip.
Go for it.
Wait, there's two. Oh, all right. Here, we'll play it really quick. It's fun for those of you that might have missed it.
That's it.
That's it. I'm calling him live on the show. Screw this.
Do it.
No, I'm mad now.
It's no surprise to me. I am my own worst enemy. Dude,
Is he gonna get mad? You think?
I'm mad at him. Don't worry about him being mad at us. I'm mad at him. Call him. Wait. I thought. Oh, your messenger calling
Can you hear
him
it though?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Expected. I'm sorry about that. This is live. Yeah, and we have to evolve with what the market conditions are with the fans.
He hung up on me. He hung up. Oh my god. He hung up, dude. Dude. Dude, you egg me on so bad. You're like, do it, call him.
Yeah, and that was the last time we talked. That was it.
Oh well, those were the good old days, I guess.
That's the good old days. All right, let's do it. Let's end the stream.
All right.
I know I want to take me home, take me home.